So this right here is my gaming setup, and it's pretty much the setup I've been using for the past few weeks. And in the heart of it all is a new device. Behold the Steam Deck OLED. So this is a video I've been meaning to do for a while, but pretty recently in one of my trips out of state for work, I made quite a bit of money and I decided to splurge a little bit and get a new device. That device happened to be the Steam Deck OLED. This is the 512 gigabyte version, and so far it has been absolutely phenomenal. Now, as you can tell, I have a keyboard and a mouse hooked up, and I'm using it basically like a desktop PC. It's even in desktop mode, so this is just a regular Linux desktop. And that's one of the many great things about this. This uses SteamOS. It utilizes SteamOS as its primary operating system, and SteamOS is essentially just a modified version of Arch Linux developed by Valve. And in case you didn't know, Valve also makes the Steam Deck itself. Valve is behind Steam, which is your digital gaming storefront, and Linux is just phenomenal. In case you haven't used Linux before, it's basically just like Windows, except without the bloatware, and everything's open source. So it's very versatile. Of course, as versatile as this machine is, the primary focus is Steam and Steam games, gaming in general. So I'm going to switch to gaming mode and show you a little bit of gaming. And now we're in gaming mode, which is essentially the gaming focused interface that you can access on the Steam Deck. It's like big picture mode on Steam, and this is gaming focused, like I said, so all of your games are accessible from here, and none of the bloatware, none of the unnecessary things, just gaming. So I'm going to start up Grand Theft Auto 5, and I'll show you, oh wait, no, I need to update. Dang.
An eternity later.
Alright, so I just updated Grand Theft Auto 5 and it should be ready to start, so I'm going to launch the game. And while that is launching, I do want to talk about game compatibility. So since this is a Linux device, there are some games that are better optimized for Windows or are Windows exclusive that won't run on here. Grand Theft Auto 5 is listed as one of those unsupported games. However, it is definitely playable. There are certain games that Steam lists as unsupported on the Steam Deck that are perfectly fine to play. The only thing that you can't play with Grand Theft Auto 5 is GTA Online, which isn't a big deal to me. And this is actually taking a lot longer than I thought, so I'll be back in like 6 years.
Another eternity later.
And we are finally in the game. Actually, let me turn the volume back up. So, since this is a handheld, I am actually going to ditch the keyboard and ditch the mouse and play it as Valve intended. So, we are going full on handheld mode. And I gotta say, even though this is a 10-plus-year-old game, this is very impressive. I mean, it usually would take a full-on console, a high-end PC, but this is a $550 device that's running Grand Theft Auto 5. Granted, it's low settings, but you're getting a pretty consistent frame rate. Very playable. By the way, this has a max frame rate of 90 FPS. But aside from that, this is very playable, very minimal stuttering, very consistent frame rate, good graphics, and yeah, one of the best games of all time. Unfortunately though, at the time of making this video, it's actually very hard to get your hands on one of these. The Ramageddon is in full swing. It's very hard for manufacturers to get parts, especially RAM and storage. So this is in short supply. I'm not even sure by the time this video gets up if it'll be in stock on Valve's website. And it's hard to find one of these used because this has only been around for a couple of years now. Nevertheless, if you do get your hands on one of these, first of all, I definitely think the OLED is worth it. The OLED screen just looks incredible compared to a normal LCD. It's also a larger screen than the regular LCD model. Second of all, if you're a serious gamer, I would definitely recommend going with more storage than I did. You can upgrade the SSD, although 1 terabyte seems to be fine for if you're playing a lot of indie games. If you're playing real big AAA titles though, definitely good idea to upgrade the SSD. And that's yet another thing about the Steam Deck. It is super repairable. Sure, things like the RAM are soldered onto the board, but Valve makes it clear that they want you to repair this. They want you to keep this device running as long as possible. You can easily replace the battery, the SSD, the screen, the thumbsticks, and a lot of people have done shell mods. I mean, this thing is just, again, incredibly versatile, incredibly repairable, and one of the best pro-consumer devices out there right now. So would I recommend the Steam Deck to the average gamer? Well, it really depends. If you're looking for the versatility, if you move around a lot, you're out and about, you travel, then yes, I would 100% recommend the Steam Deck. You can take it with you anywhere and play pretty much any of your Steam games and beyond. And you can watch videos. I mean, it's a PC. But if you're looking for performance, if you're looking for the best quality in your video games, then I wouldn't necessarily recommend this. If you're looking for the highest settings, probably better off with a full-on custom-built desktop PC. But for most people, this is actually a pretty great option. Even if you don't move around a lot, you can easily dock this and you can hook up an external monitor. And if you're okay with switching from Windows, which I'd assume a lot of people are after using Linux for quite a while, it's just a great device. So those are my thoughts on this beautiful piece of machinery right here. If you have any thoughts of your own, please let me know in the comments. If you are looking for a Steam Deck, I will leave a link in the description. Not sure if it's going to be in stock by the time you watch this video. I would just keep checking the website, honestly, but I'm not sponsored in any way by Steam or anything. I just really like the Steam Deck, and it's just my favorite device. Other than my GoPros, it's my favorite device. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Subscribe!